Hello, hello. How's everybody doing tonight? How we doing, chat? Let me make sure I get my chat box up here this time so I can talk to everybody. Let's see. Pop out chat. Let's put that over here. Can everybody hear us? Kingsley? Hello, hello. How's everybody doing tonight?
Test, test, test.
How we doing, chat?
I can hear GATR through the stream.
Chat box up here this time so I can talk to everybody. Let's see.
I can hear y'all. I got the chat unmuted.
Pop out chat. Let's
Put
wait
the sound
for
unmuted.
Kingsley.
I know. Wait for the delay.
Yep. Can everybody hear us? Kingsley? Hello, hello.
Yep.
How's everybody doing
We're good.
tonight?
Test, test, test.
How we doing, chat?
I can hear
Let me
GATR
make sure
through
I
the
get my
stream.
chat
So
box
you
up
can hear
here
me.
this time, so. Okay. Good enough. What's up? Zombie Pops, Jimmy Rayner. How's it going? Hello, everybody. I want to make sure we got sound good tonight. Last week, the sound was too low. I mean, I'm a rookie at this stuff, and it's trial and error, you know? That's how I got to figure it out. So, yeah, a lot of people have changed their names in the on their YouTube accounts. Braden, how you doing? How's it going, everybody? Just looking at chat here real quick. How's sound, guys? If sound good? We too loud, too soft? You guys got to tell us, because it's hard for us to gauge that. Everybody good tonight? Hello, Kingsley Mac. Oh, that's you. Sorry. Just kidding. All right. We're about ready to get the rest show going here. We got a lot to talk about tonight, guys. A lot to talk about tonight. And then not just Waitgate. We got a lot of other stuff to mention tonight. So, okay, everybody can hear us? Let's get going. Let's get on with the show here. All right. Let's get set up. Oh. Let's do this. All right. I got to make sure I'm recording two sources here, so I got to make sure I got everything. All right. Kingsley, give me a quick hello real quick so I can make sure my soundboard's popping up.
Hello, real quick. Is your soundboard good?
All right, we're good. Thank you, sir. All right. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 275 of Guardian Downcast, the Destiny podcast. Hey, I'm your host, Todd the GATR, and I'm a day one Guardian who loves gaming and especially the Destiny franchise. We're the podcast that's all about your stories, your community, your destiny. In this live episode, our chat may notice a new layout for our special roundtable show tonight. For those of you who may have just discovered our podcast, once a month we have a special episode I like to call the Roundtable. This is where I and my two co-hosts choose any story, blog post, news article, hell, even community gossip, as long as it relates to the things we all love to do, and that's game. So, in this episode, we'll first catch up and see what the three of us have been doing in gaming and entertainment and life. Next, I will briefly point out the highlights of this week in Destiny, which mainly pertains to the new Festival of the Lost Halloween event, which will begin next week. Bunty's added some goodies that I'm sure some of us might have opinions on. There's certainly been a lot of discussion in the Destiny chat channel of the Discord, I've noticed. Then we will begin with our topics of discussion, as each of us here tonight have chosen something that we think will create some good back and forth. And you know, I love a good discussion. If time permits, we'll hang out in the live stream for a bit as well afterwards. If anybody has any questions, anything they want to ask us or comment on, or just give us some feedback on, we welcome your input and thank you for your time with us tonight going live. So if everyone's ready, let's roll. Still streaming? Yes. I didn't hit the right button. Oh, I hit the right button. Okay. All right, good deal. All right. All right, guys, let's get into it. I'm going to start with you first, RNG. But you know what? We'll switch it up. I'll go to Kingsley first tonight, all right? Here we go. 3, 2. Okay, before we get into our topics tonight and a little bit about the TWAB, let's get into what everyone's been doing this week. Kingsley, if you don't mind, I'll start with you, man. What have you been up to this week in gaming, life, entertainment, anything you want to talk about, man?
Yeah. With gaming, continue to run the new dungeon a few more times in game. I really enjoy that. It's probably the main thing that's keeping me doing something in Destiny. I do some of the challenges here and there too. In other parts of life, I checked out a movie this week called Woman of the Hour on Netflix. Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't heard that one.
It's the one, Anna Kendrick is in it, and it's her first directorial debut. Sorry, I
Okay.
said that weird. Where it's the story about the dating game killer. Have you heard about that guy back in I think it was the
Sounds familiar.
70s, but
Yeah.
in California, and he killed a bunch of people, but he actually became a contestant on the dating game.
Oh,
Yeah.
she was on the Tonight Show, I think. No, Colbert maybe. I hadn't watched it yet. I noticed she was on, so she must have been plugging that. Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And great movie. The only thing that it almost seemed too short, especially in the actual part of the dating game interactions. But then again, I know they were short in real life because I've been to game show tapings before, and they're pretty darn short. But overall, fun story, kind of an interesting story about this guy, the serial killer that finally got caught. Anyone notice that we don't really seem to have that many serial killers anymore? It seemed like they were in the 70s and the 80s, maybe a little bit in the 90s, but we really don't seem to, at least any that are getting caught,
Yeah.
have them these days.
No, I was gonna say we got too many school shootings and people blasting in movie theaters with guns. No,
Yeah.
the poor serial killers don't have any airtime now.
And I feel like, in a way, too, maybe because the advent of the internet or other things, that old school type of killing, you can get caught easier these days, too, I would assume. So it was kind of one of these things that, who knows? Anyways, it's a silly side topic, but
No,
good
I
movie.
understand.
Good movie. And other than that, not too much is going on of note. So I can pass it off to.
All right,
Dave.
RNG. So what have you been up to this week, man?
Not much.
Okay, moving on.
Life.
I'm just sorry. I'm gonna do that every week, by the way.
Don't worry. And been catching up on episodes. I think I'm one episode behind on Agatha All Along and The Penguin. I'm enjoying them both.
You're liking the one on Disney Plus, the Agatha? I haven't watched that one yet. It's good.
Yeah.
It's not too like
I'm
kiddie.
enjoying it. I liked the twist. I kind of figured out the twist, and so did my daughter and my wife. But I'm enjoying The Penguin. I love. I forgot the episode came out. I'm one episode behind. I haven't watched this past Sunday's episode yet.
You're on 3 then, right? Because I just finished 3 too. So there's 4 episodes out now.
I think there's. I don't know.
Oh, I'm 2 behind then.
5. Yeah, I think it's 5. It's out now. That's what I think.
Nice.
But
my wife and I just
saw. It's very good. The way the Penguin is.
It's very good.
Yeah,
it's HBO, man.
A very good job. Yeah. So, but other than that, no, just work, playing. Been playing WoW, and that's about it. And Call of Duty Black Ops 6 came out. I haven't had a chance. I got it downloaded on my Xbox. I just haven't had a chance to fire it up and try it yet. So, and then next week is Veilguard. So
yeah,
I'll be playing it.
Yeah, I thought I could jump on at midnight like the old days, when Call of Duty came out. Nope, I have to wait till 11 a.m. the next morning. I'm like, are you kidding me? Who put that rule in place? But I guess maybe they're doing that to keep the servers from getting flooded at midnight, like they used to. But I wanted to jump into Call of Duty Zombies so badly, but I have not had the chance to jump in. It's downloaded and ready. It's unlocked and ready to roll. So I'm probably going to jump on tonight after the show if I have the energy. So, but for me, as I mentioned last week, I've been playing a lot of Gambit, chasing that elusive god roll of the refreshed Bygones 390 adaptive pulse rifle. I did get some rolls though. Let me mention what I did have here. You that are in the know can probably tell me if I have a good roll or not, but there's certain PvP rolls I'm looking for here, but let's see here. Let's pull up Bygones. There we go. I'm not throwing away my year 2 one, by the way. It has to stay. But I've got a head seeker under pressure with Ricochet. I have one with Desperate Measures in Moment. That could be promising. I have another one with Desperado and Keep Away. Being that it's a pulse rifle, I'm probably not going to be in close combat, so that might be able to work in Crucible. Eye of the Storm, Perpetual Motion. Kinetic Tremors to the Pain. I'm thinking that would be a good PvE roll. Desperado Under Pressure again. Firefly, Perpetual Motion. Closing Time and Attrition Orbs. I'm thinking that might be good for PvE as well. Let's see. I got a Desperate Measures Keep Away and a Headseeker Lone Wolf, which so far is the closest to my God roll. Lone Wolf, it looks very promising in Crucible. It might be better for, I mean, there's some perks in Crucible that give you that great opening shot. And Lone Wolf works even better if you're out of combat, and it's a pulse rifle, so it works perfectly with it. But it is slightly improves aim assist, aim down the sight speed, and airborne effectiveness, which I don't care about that. Increases these effects when there are no nearby allies, which I'm always trying to flank in Crucible. So yeah, and it has better perks if you get it enhanced. So yeah, so that's that. That has taken up a lot of my week, is just running a ton of Gambit. And now I have reset my rank in Gambit because last week had the extra XP. So now I get a possible 2 rolls. And if I reset it again, I'll have a possible 4 rolls on my 3rd and 4th columns. So that's what I'm shooting for, to try to get that perfect roll that I can maybe switch off and use for PvE and PvP. But other than that, I know we had to postpone the Vespers host dungeon. We were going to, us three were going to run it this week, but but we're still going to do it. We'll probably try to slot it in next week. I'll be honest, man. I have been busting my butt this week. I had a big termite job I had to finish. Took me 2 days to do it. And Milton just hit us a couple weeks ago, and it's been all hands on deck for me. So I've been
good. We just need to talk about it soon before it's off people's minds. Give a review of it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely want to do it. I've heard a little bit. I watched the day 1 dungeon race. So yeah. I'm looking forward to. I just want to see those dang servitors come out, like 10 or 12 of them at a time. I'm gonna have that Nova Bomb ready, baby. But as I mentioned in past shows, I'm trying a new game every week, and I've been playing Balatro until Mr. Admiral Nips sent me a screenshot of his high score. Man, I got a long way to go on that game. I'm a little newbie compared to him. He showed me some of his score, and I want to give a shout out to Admiral Nips and Fluffy Fingers MD. They're from the Potato Thumbs podcast. They sent me a t-shirt. They had a fitness contest, and I guess I won the drawing, and I told them I didn't want anything, but they sent it anyway. So this is the Potato Thumbs podcast new t-shirt. Man, they have the coolest t-shirts. I got to tell you, man, Fluffy does such a good job on all the artwork on that stuff. So, but I want to give them a shout out because I was very surprised. I ordered some t-shirts through our Threadless vendor for future shows, and they haven't come here yet. But when I saw that package, I thought it was one of mine, and I was surprised. It was a Potato Thumbs one, so it was really cool. Let's see. I've been watching The Franchise on HBO Max. Loving that show. HBO's got some good stuff out right now. I started watching the drama series The Diplomat on Netflix. I got to tell you, this is a really good show. Think of Jack Ryan from like Prime Video, but Kerry Russell plays the Mrs. Diplomat, and she is badass. And I really like Rufus Sewell. He's been in a lot of movies that I really like, and like King Arthur, movies like that. And he's her husband, who's just a troublemaker. And they're both ambassadors. So they're both seasoned ambassadors and diplomats. And he has to play not the diplomat, but the spouse of the diplomat. And it's kind of funny how he gets a lot done behind the scenes. But it's a pretty good thriller. You don't know who you're going to trust. There's a lot of twists and turns. And my wife even jumped in and said, well, how many episodes are you in? I'm like, 2. I said, they're hour-long episodes, babe. She goes, I don't care. I want to watch it. So now I had to postpone it. So it's on hold right now until she catches up. She's got to watch 2 of them before I can watch the next one. It's killing me because I love this show. And there's a new season coming out, I believe, in a couple weeks, if not out already. But it's very much like The Crown, that kind of stuff. If you like The Crown, you'll love this kind of stuff. My wife and I went and saw a movie this week at the theater, thanks to my AMC Stubbs A-List membership. I need to flash a logo or something. Maybe AMC will give me a little money for it or something. I don't know. But we saw the movie starring Michael Keaton, who is one of my favorite actors, by the way, who plays an art gallery owner who didn't spend much time with his daughter growing up. And now he's a dad again through a second marriage and has 2 young twins, a boy and a girl. And now he has his second chance to make things right but he still has to make amends with his older daughter. And Mila Kunis was really good in that. She did a really good job. I don't want to spoil too much. It was a very moving stories, and my eyes might have been having a reaction to the air conditioner in the theater. I don't know what was going on, but I was tearing up a little bit at the end there. But
it's okay.
It was really good. It's a really good movie. And that movie, by the way, was called, I didn't even mention it. It's called Goodrich. It's an independent movie. You probably can wait for it to come out on HBO or whatever streaming service, but it's really good. I think Rotten Tomatoes has it at 77 critics, 88% audience. I give this one 4 stars. Really well done indie movie. And like I said, I love indie movies because they don't play safe. They put movies out there that really can make a difference and really be good storytelling. So we're going to be seeing Conclave with Ralph Fiennes and a huge cast of stars around him about the politics and scandal that is possible in the process of choosing a new pope. 93% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. So I think we're going to go see that tomorrow afternoon. And I may be waiting to watch the new Venom, The Last Dance. I think I'm going to wait for that one to come out on Disney Plus since it's Marvel, right? I think it's Marvel. I think it'll be Disney Plus. It only got 35% from critics. So
I don't care about critics. I'm still going to go see it.
I think I'm going to wait. It'll probably be on Disney Plus in a few months. And there's just so many other movies I want to see. If I have time and I've got a night to kill, it's free for us. So we'll have to see. I think that's it for me as far as, I'm really looking forward to playing Festival of the Lost I love the seasonal events and stuff. So that's it as far as me, but I wanted to touch on something that's been kind of like gossip right now. Kingsley, you can jump in here. Paul Tassi put out an article, and it was, he called it, Destiny 2 is on the verge of its biggest scandal in history. And it's called, everyone I'm sure has heard about this. It's the weight gate, the fact that they think that Bungie puts weights on all the RNG rolls, certain perks on weapons and stuff and armor possibly. And, they did reply that, they do not weight their individual perks, but what they're finding is that it's related to bundled perks. So Kingsley, I know we've all kind of got what we want to say here. I'll let you kind of explain so far what's been going on, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Well, first of all, too, and he was just reporting. Other people found this out before him, but of course, he's one of the biggest reporters in the Destiny sphere. But basically,
it was over the new dungeon grenade launcher, I believe. That's what started all this.
Yeah, that's how it really got more top of mind for everyone because people really wanted that role. Now there's interesting news that people have been guessing this for a little while, and we don't know how long, but I'll get into that real quick. But because of people really wanting the God roll for the new grenade launcher, they were running stats on, is this just RNG bad luck that we're not getting it, or does it seem like something more? And usually when people have said stuff like that in the past, and maybe not even necessarily just in Destiny, but other games, you always have to take that with a grain of salt because people will get upset. And I've seen, just drops in raids for how often I raid. I really do see it kind of be that 5% that people will get the exotic or for the raids that are 5% or whatever. But people are like, no, like I didn't get in until run 50. Well, that's still a 5% chance. You know what I mean? Like 5% means the average is around 20 runs, So it can happen if you have bad luck. But people were really putting the stats together and saying like, hey, we really think there's something more to this. It really seems like no one's getting these perk combos. And so people ran stats. They showed like great reasoning, like, hey, something's going on here. And because of that, everyone started jumping on board like, this really looks like legit, reasoning here. Please look at this, Bungie. And then people were saying Bungie kind of needs to respond to this because if not, with the great reasoning behind it, then people will just not trust it or whatever. So sure enough, Bungie did respond to it, and they said they're going to look into it. Now, real quick, what was happening basically is in the API, when you have stats that are listed next to each other, there's like a column, two columns. And when they're next to each other or one away, it's much more common to get those perks together. Basically, people running the numbers is like a 1 in 24 chance, right? But if the perks are 3 spaces away, and that's the max they can get, because think of it as like almost like a circle where it loops around. So, the API shows 2 perks of columns, and let's just say we're starting with the middle perks, right? But if you go to the top one loops back around to the bottom one. So, but basically, if the 2 perks you want are 3 away from each other, then you have a 1 in 454 chance to get that, is what people were noticing. And they're like, so this isn't really RNG because it's more common getting perks that are close to each other, and it's less common getting perks that are a little bit further away. And that's not RNG. RNG, if it was RNG, it would be the same amount no matter what perks, right? So people are like, okay, is it perk weighting? Is it something else? Well, Bungie, to their credit, and I figured they would, they looked into it, and then they basically kind of confirmed it yesterday, but they officially confirmed it today that, yes, it's an issue. Now, I even was thinking, and it's a bug, people, okay, let's give them some credit. I really don't think this is intentional. Things that are intentional never work out in the long run because someone will talk about it or whatever. And we even had like previous developers that got fired.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
For Bungie. They were saying like, I've looked at the code before. There was no intentional weight perking. No. But that being said, it's definitely possible to have a bug, an unintentional thing. So to Bungie's credit, they're looking at this. They're going to fix it. And the big question now, though, is how long has this been going on for? I have my opinion, but like everyone thinks it's been happening at least since the final shape, but some people think it's been going on back to Beyond Light. I don't know if I quite believe that, because if you think about it, yeah, Bungie's fault for having this bug, but also kind of our community fault for no one really totally noticing it yet. So that's why I think if it just started in final shape, and then really because of this new weapon that everyone wants to get, that's why we're noticing it more now. But I imagine also Bungie really does a good job with letting us know more info in the future. I bet they'll also tell us how long this has been going on for, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see that.
Gator,
that's kind of the nutshell of it. Yeah.
I was just curious, Gator, you got any opinion on this?
Not really. I mean, I play, get the guns that come to me. I really never pay attention or do. I don't grind enough to worry about what perks fall where.
Yeah, I mean, I can get into it because I know there's some times I don't get the best luck on raid drops. And first,
this isn't raid drops. These are just perks. Yeah, I mean, the raid drops are still the same amount of RNG.
That's just it, because I don't know. I don't think it was intentional. Come on, give me a break. There's with all the 400 people they've laid off, you don't think someone would have spoken up and said something? I mean, they already ratted on the car collector out there who's still working at Bungie. But I don't know. I know when I've turned in like several Ingrams in a row, like for instance, in Gambit, if we're talking about this as a bug in all the programming, I got a lot of different roles. I didn't get a lot of similar roles. So I'm patient with Bungie here. I mean, it is a looter shooter, and you do have to worry about the integrity of the loot drops and how the RNG is. I mean, I can understand why some people are a little upset about this, especially if they spent hours and hours trying to grind this thing. So for now, I'm going to just kind of keep it quiet, not say a whole lot about it, and see how Bungie handles it. Cause my eyes are on Bungie. I want to see how they react to all this, So
yeah, I always have a nuanced view of these things. It's okay to be upset, but like, as long as you're not like pulling your hair out, and it's okay to trust Bungie and know that they're doing their best and they're going to fix this. It's like, be in the middle of the road about it, people. It's like, yes, it's concerning, and Bungie shouldn't have had a bug that big, but things happen. Every company has bugs, and I think they'll do a good job of letting us know what they're going to do to fix it. And it's not like we should totally ignore it either, but I just kind of present the info. And for me, like, I'm not too concerned either. Like, even if I was grinding like millions of the dungeon to get the roll, and then I found out that's why I didn't get it. Life's
Right.
too short to worry
Yeah.
about stuff like that. It is like Bungie, get your shit together and get that fixed as soon as you can. But other than that, you don't need to be super upset.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. And Jim Rayner in the chat says apparently it's been only confirmed back to final shape release. So, like I said, I'm gonna just sit back. I'm gonna evaluate things once I see how Bungie reacts to this and how they treat this problem. Wouldn't this be a good time for AI to jump in? I know that's very, very
hard to say.
I mean, they use AI for everything these days, it seems. Why not integrate and have AI recreate the RNG program? And I know it's spaghetti code. Maybe that's just a bad idea, but you would think AI, that's one thing AI could be good for. And for future gaming is having better or more perfect, or trying to be at least the best perfect RNG, I don't know, mechanic.
Well, here's what needs to happen. Again, it's like, we do know with some of the layoffs, they were more on the quality assurance side, which is very unfortunate. I think Bungie's actually doing pretty good, not having even more bugs for the big portion of that team being laid off. But they need to do better with quality testing, and AI could be used for running not pen testing, but like testing against the code and seeing what might be wrong. And that, I wouldn't necessarily say have AI write the code yet, but do tests on the code for things like this.
Yeah, and Jim Rayner, I'm not a boomer. I'm a Gen Xer. Thank you very much. I'll disregard that comment. Okay, hey, we've talked about this long enough. I didn't want to dwell on it too much. A lot of people have been talking about this. There's been videos released, and everyone's been talking about it. So I actually want to move on, and let's get into the TWAB. It'll be a very quick just rundown of the TWAB, because there's some new stuff coming in the new seasonal activity next week, and I just want to mention that real quick. So let's get into that. Okay. This is going to be a very quick rundown, guys. I'm not going to dwell on the TWAB because we got 3 topics we want to talk about tonight, and I do not want to go over in time. So let me just pull this up. Okay. All right. So this week in Destiny for October 24th, 2024, this week in Destiny, we're getting spooky. While we're already in the midst of spooky season, we've got Festival of the Lost around the corner to kick it up a notch. Friday will also be our first class-based trials weekend, which can help tide you over until our spooky seasonal event launches. So let's get into it. Real quick here. I mean, I'm going to just give you the highlights here of what is coming and some changes that are coming in the Festival of the Lost next week. First, Haunted Lost Sectors are back. What do you think, guys? I love Lost Sectors, man. No, I love Lost Sectors because you can jump in them, you can kill time, you can watch YouTube videos while you're playing them.
It's the same thing over and over.
Just grind out gear, man. That's what it's all about. RNG. All right, whatever. They're going to do they're simplifying the book. Remember, you had to get those spectral pages and then turn them into manifested pages. That was a terrible mechanic last year. It's real simple. It's just manifested pages. You'll get them from the chest, and they say you'll get them also from other activities in the game. Real simple. Shoot enemies, get candy, buy stuff. I mean, it's real simple. They're going to have new wizard ornaments for all 3 classes. We've talked about this in past shows. They look pretty good. I'm going to work for them. There is a new heavy burst arc shotgun called Arcane Embrace. It's a 2-round burst. And while you're firing it, it also has a perk built in where it reduces flinch while you're firing those 2 shots. So for Crucible, this might be pretty cool. The returning Festival of the Lost weapons will also have all the updated new perk pool. So I guess I'm going to be grinding for that origin story with another perk, I guess, that the more modern perks these days. I don't know. I'll look and see on that stuff. But man, I got to tell you, Festival of Lost is probably one of my favorite activities because we get to wear masks. And not only that, we get to collect masks. So they're going to have all kinds of new masks. If you want to see the pictures of them, I'd rather be surprised, to be honest. But yeah, Jim Rayner, the archetype is a brand new archetype of shotgun. Yeah,
hey,
it's
I'm
a 2-shot with 1 click. I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, a new archetype. This is what scratches my itch. Is like the fact of there's a new archetype that'll get me to hop in this some.
Yeah, it's a new weapon type, so I'm gonna I'm gonna run and get it. I'm gonna run and get it. I'm gonna have my mask on. I'm gonna collect all the new mask. I'm gonna make sure I got all that done. Here's one important thing. I'd had this highlighted. In fact, you can now buy your exotic class items with 2,500 candy and 1 Eerie Ingram at Eva. What do you guys think about that? The fact that everyone can just get their class item now.
I mean, it's good for those people who may still can't find nobody to run Dual Destiny with. I get it for that, but I still would rather run Dual Destiny than grind candy to get a class item.
What do you think, Kingsley?
For me, I kind of understand where they're doing it, but I think they just did it too soon. There's something that's just right about when there's a new way to get something, keep it that way for about a year. At least that's what they've done in the past. And I thought they've always had a good middle ground where you have to run Dual Destiny at least once, but then, you can get subsequent ones really easy by doing the chests or whatever. Well, they should have just made this too. Like, if you run Dual Destiny once, then you can get subsequent ones from Haunted Lost Sectors or whatever. I don't know. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. I'm not thinking like, oh, these people don't deserve it, but
right.
I think it would have been better maybe next year doing it this way.
This was a big discussion in our Destiny chat channel in our Discord this week. Whether people deserve to skip that and stuff. If you guys haven't run Dual Destiny, I've run it with Kingsley twice. It is a lot of fun. It is one of my favorite encounters in Final Shape. It's one of the favorite activities. I like it even better than the big one, the 12-man, not incisor.
Incisor.
What do I want to call it? Incisor. Well, what's it called again? Excision. Thank you. God. Yes. I mean, I love, and I do not like timers, but it gives you enough time to have a little leeway, and I get to shoot Kingsley in the head at the end of the thing. It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Didn't I still kill you?
I think you did. I'll edit that
and
out.
I don't even play PvP.
That's right. I'll edit that out. Yeah. So 2,500 candy and 1 Eerie Ingram. I like this because I've run my Hunter through it and my Warlock through it, but I have not run my Titan through it. It's my weakest character. And so sorry, Fudd. It is my weakest character, but this is going to be nice. I can go ahead and unlock it where I can start getting rolls and stuff. So I like this change. The next thing that they're adding to Festival of the Lost, and this is very, very good news for me, is the Super Black Shader's back. You got to complete the Ghost Rider event challenge, which is 15 of the event challenges. In other words, it's the book that you have to complete. Once you complete that, there's 15 challenges. You'll be able to unlock the Super Black Shader, which I missed by like an hour on Into the Light. I was so pissed at myself. I was procrastinating. I came back at the last minute and realized I could not get enough onslaughts in to complete the track for Shax, to reset it. I was so mad at myself. But I'll be honest.
This is a good change because even though this one hasn't been a year, the fact that they took it away, it's good that now it's coming back and
something to do.
I think this brilliant thing, you could only get it into the light. So now that it's back, I think this is brilliant. So.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like, I tried on the Super Black Shader. Warlocks have a lot of leather and cloth armor, and it doesn't quite do it as well. But on Hunter and Titan, it looks fantastic. So for that reason, I'm gonna do what I got to do to get it. Let's see, a new spooky emblem. That's pretty cool. Hurricane Relief emblem. They're still raising money for the Hurricane Relief, and now they are offering a cool T-shirt, and I am getting this. I looked at it. It's $30 through the Bungie Foundation, and I'm definitely getting this. The proceeds go to more of Hurricane Relief, Team Rubicon, so I will definitely be getting that. Ubisoft has a partnership. They said it was a team-based medieval fighting game. Am I missing something here? What game are we talking about?
For Honor.
Oh, For Honor.
Okay, yeah.
Forgot about that game.
So it looks like you can be Shax. You can, like, Shax and Saint 14 are in For Honor now. Like, you can play as them. I'm like, I would rather have that, or I'd rather have ornaments to play as Shax, and especially being a Titan or Satan 14 in Destiny. Come on. I don't play For Honor. Never have, never will.
I tried it for a while, and it just strike parry. Just those kind of games, I get bored really quick. And I know there's more to it than that. Don't at me, okay? I like shooting games. It's what I've always liked. There's a lot of good videos, some really cool art in there. Player support report. Kingsley, what's going on with the player support report this week, man?
Yeah, I'll say it this time, but before I say it, I do want to say one quick thing that's super important to me. Ignition boss damage update. This is affecting things specifically like the Song of Flame super with Warlock.
Yeah.
They made a change where it was already going to be less damage over time after the initial ignition, but there's a bug. It was only supposed to apply for the Vespers host dungeon boss, but it's applying everywhere, and they have a fix slotted for mid-November. Okay. So if your ignition damage is not doing as much as you were expecting, that is why. And let's just say shit's broken.
Wow. Gator, I'm going to convert him, man. Oh, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Maybe not every week. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, you guys have to tune in and see if he's going to go with it or not. Yes. And we're done here for today, folks. Before I forget, how cool is this fashion rendition to Slipknot? Definitely deserving of a fashion emblem. We'll be sending their way. They all just look perfectly on point. No one was left behind. Only way it could be better is if this whole band of Guardians went on a rampage on a certain dungeon called Duality. Probably the only thing that slowly stops the ache. Anyway, where are our Festival of the Lost Mask? We've got a SIC ideal. All right, Destiny 2 community team. Thank you, Destiny 2 community team. Thank you for communicating with us again this week. I'm really looking forward to Festival of the Lost. It just looks like a lot of fun. It's just a good way to just chill and kill time, and that's what I like doing with these events. And everyone can do stuff. They can get bright dust. They can farm the bounties, like my bounties. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, boys, I think it's time. I think it's topic time. So let me take my mandatory bathroom break, and we'll get back and get right into it. Hang in there. I'm just kidding. I'm good.
You're good?
But for the audio listeners,
Of course.
Yeah. So
again, if we ever do that, I would imagine like a 3 to 5, and then we'll just go back.
Yeah. I've got an intermission screen I can pull up if we need to step away for a second here. Gator, I've got you up first. You ready, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, I was replying to somebody.
It's all right, man. No, I see you covering chat. Appreciate that, man. Let's see. 99 Cap said something. Welcome, 99 Cap, by the way. I saw you there. Yeah, he said the haunted tree of probabilities. I don't remember that. Am I missing something? The haunted tree of probabilities?
Forest.
Yeah. The haunted forest. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was always a lot of fun.
Feel I'm like him. I wish they would just do something different instead of just Lost Sectors. Like, I don't know, make something new or haunt something else. Lost Sectors is not it.
Or multiple things,
That's one thing I forgot to mention.
And bring that back, and
yeah.
But
yeah,
they are bringing back all the mementos. You can get all the mementos through the rewards as well, and you can hold up to 3. Forgot to mention that, but I'm sure people will figure it out.
They can read.
I'm 99 Cap said something.
If we didn't cover it, they can read it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll say another thing. 99 Cap solo op seems just like something you don't want to play with other. It's not that simple.
That's what I was reacting to.
Wanting to play with others, but sometimes you can't, or you just need a break. I mean, not everyone's an extrovert, so it's okay to play things on your own at times. We have a lot of. I think this is brilliant. We talked about it some last week. We have a lot of brilliant things in the game that are team based, and I don't think that there's too many things that are solo based. So unless I see them doing solo ops and this and this and this and this, then I think doing solo ops is a great addition to the game.
I love it. And you can still match with 2 other friends. It's not like you have to do it solo. Yeah. It's not matchmaking, but you can bring 2 other friends with you. And supposedly what we were talking about last week, Kingsley and Gator, is that they're going to have a new mechanic that picks up on how quickly you're killing enemies and stuff. Something's going to trigger where you'll get more enemies or something will change. Yeah. So,
and luckily it is a brand new activity.
Yes.
They have said, and they sound really interesting too. It's their first foray into true RNG ad spawning also. Definitely check out the article. Bungie has it on their website.
That's gonna be fun.
So, I mean, it won't be necessarily new locations. Of course, I'm sure they'll have some in the new location that comes for Frontiers, but it'll also include older locations, but will be a new activity.
Right. Exactly.
10 minutes-ish, they said. So,
yeah. Okay. I like that. Like I said, I like being able to jump in and get stuff done really quick. But yeah. All right, Gator, you're going to be up here. Hey, anybody can guess? Let's guess the drink tonight. I'll get a real good close. You get a good color for it. Let's guess what Gator's drinking tonight. You know, I usually drink green tea, right? So that doesn't look very green.
We're talking about the old guy, not this Gator.
Oh yeah. Sorry. The Todd the Gator. Yeah.
Mine's in this, so
I'm trying something new. Let's see. Anybody guessing?
Okay.
No. Okay.
It looks like an amber. Oh wait, no. It's not a beer, probably.
No,
I think
Jim,
it's
not blood. That's not blood in my tea. Oh shit.
That's thin blood. That's some thin blood.
Wait, is it like a?
No.
Is it like a? Let me guess. It's like a passion fruit tea from Corner Bakery.
You're close. You're close. It's actually Arizona diet tea. It has sweetener in it. It's blueberry green tea. It tastes pretty good. My wife turned me onto it. So my local Publix, which is where I get they make their own tea and it's really good. They have a green tea with honey and ginseng, but they're out because fucking Milton. So yeah, it is what it is. Okay. Let's get into it, Gator. Fruit juice. God damn you. God damn you, zombie house. I saw your deer. I saw your buck, by the way, man. That was a nice snag today. Get my composure here. I got to quit looking at chat.
Goes great with his oatmeal on a bagel.
Don't knock it till you try it. All right.
I'm going to knock it even if I do try it.
All right, fine. All right, here we go. 3, 2. All right, our first topic in the roundtable tonight. It's RNG Gator. You're on deck, man. What do you bring for us tonight?
I got a couple articles about some stuff that Call of Duty and Ubisoft have done that just kind of wanted to talk about. I did not know this, but with the new Call of Duty Black Ops 6, there is a built-in support for better audio, but here's the catch. It'll cost you $20 for 5 years of it. So you have to pay to get the new audio. Did not know this. I just happened to be on a website looking at topics, and this was one of them. You know, and I just brought to my mind of, you know, companies charging you for stuff like this in game. I don't know. I mean, I know I saw a TikTok today that kind of made fun of this. There's a guy holding us the game. He's like, "Hey, I got the game. It's here. It's done." And he gives it to the boss, and the boss is like, cracks it in half. He's like, "Okay, got something. We're not going to release the whole game. We're going to release half of it now and half of it later and make them pay some absurd price to play the other half." He goes, "That's just dumb." The guy said, he goes, "Oh, hold on. I got a better idea." Breaks it into fours. He's like, "We'll break it into fours and make it look like we're giving them more content out throughout the year." And when he said that, the first thing that went through my head was Destiny. I couldn't help but laugh, but giggle in my head about it, you know, like seasons and stuff. So, but I don't know. I just kind of find it dumb if I want better audio, in Call of Duty 6, I'm going to have to, Black Ops 6, I'm going to have to pay for it, you know.
Well, it was
they named it pay to hear instead of pay to win. People were on Twitter saying pay to hear.
Pay to listen better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, playing Call of Duty, if you're playing at a high level, I mean, back in the day when they didn't have better audio and these upgrades and stuff, whoever had the best headset won because they could hear the footsteps so much better. And they crank up all the volume and you'd hear just the slightest little noise of a footstep. You know someone was behind you. And if you're really good, you would know the footsteps of your teammates were a little bit different than the footsteps of your enemy and the really high level players, because Call of Duty isn't like Destiny Crucible. It encourages camping, if anything, because there's no all the time radar on. It doesn't encourage a fight like the Crucible does. That's why I love the Crucible so much. But yeah, I think this is crazy, stupid, but you know what? No one has knocked Call of Duty off their reign. Other games have tried, Like even Destiny Crucible back in the day was probably a good competitor. And Battlefield for a time, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 came close to contending with Call of Duty, but never could topple them. And as long as they are on top, they can do whatever they want to us. If we want to play their game, we want to have all the advantages, they'll make us pay. And this is, I'm not going to go down too much of a rabbit hole here, but I will just say this is the reason why I don't like these big gaming studios buying up all these smaller studios, because when it becomes a monopoly, when there's only 3 players in the game, we have less choice and less competition. We're going to have a lot of this crap coming down the pike. So get ready. So I don't like this idea. I think it's stupid.
Well, I mean, only reason I might try Black Ops 6 is because I have it with Game Pass. I didn't have it with Game Pass. I do like I've done every Call of Duty from here since after the early Black Ops, like 1 or 2. I haven't played them. I just don't, and I'm not gonna spend my money on it. So I mean,
yeah,
I got other stuff to play.
Zombie, I'm with you. Battlefield will be back, and I will try it, but I got burned on 2042. I'm gonna have to see a lot of good gameplay before I buy that game. They're gonna have to prove it.
There is a game that's coming out called Delta Force that's got kind of Tarkov mixed with Battlefield and stuff, and a campaign in it that looks it's free to play, and it actually looks quite interesting. And you got the conquest mode of like Battlefield, where you got spots everybody's trying to take. You've got a campaign. You've got a Tarkov, like a Tarkov light. You come in, extraction shooter, pick up what you can, get out type deal, stuff like that. It looks interesting. A guy at work was telling me about it. I didn't get in on the beta because I never got invited by the game. I put my email address in, but it never sent me anything. So, that's one game that's coming out that looks like it's combining a couple different ones into one. But yeah, I'm not paying $20 for better audio. If I don't hear you and I die, I just die. I don't play enough to pay $20, even if it is for 5 years.
Yeah. Okay. You had another story, I think, too. Kingsley, I'm sorry. Did you have anything you wanted to mention on that?
Not too much on that. I mean, I was kind of agreeing and laughing with that. I mean, don't most people just gonna do audio through Discord or something, anyways?
Or you figure out how to make it better yourself without having to pay $20.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
most people have, like Todd said, you have those headset or earbuds that are more.
Oh yeah.
I mean, technology is up there now. I don't see why you need to pay $20. I don't see it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the in-game sounds would be better, but yeah, it seems absurd what that is. I mean, luckily I don't care that much, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what people figure out.
Hey, before you move on, Gator, can we talked about this in our chat. Are we comfortable with our first names on chat, on live?
Don't bother me.
All right.
I'm great. That's
Mike Kingsley, and that is Chet as RNG Gator. Not, me, I'm Todd. So when we address each other as Chet, Mike, and Todd, now you guys will know which Gator we're talking about, just to avoid confusion in the future.
All right, we'll give it a try.
Once people learn our voices with the names, kind of like the way Space Mafia did. And once I started listening to it more, I know who's who now.
That's true.
So,
yeah. All right. So what else is up on the board, man? What else you got?
Just another article I found was about Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed. Was it Shadows is the new one? They're actually cutting. Yeah, they're cutting the collector's edition by $50 in lieu of them canceling the season pass, scrapped early access plans, and the game being delayed till next year. So it got dropped to $229 instead of $279 and no longer contains a handful of bonuses like originally announced. So, I don't know. It's the more and more I keep hearing about Shadows, I was interested in it, and then with it being delayed, and now this, it's kind of like, why? Why are you dropping the season pass? Why are you scraping early access plans? Because you were supposed to get it 3 days earlier if you bought the collector's edition. So, I mean, I want to say in this article, I couldn't remember, were they actually refunding people? I think I already made.
I don't remember that part.
Can't remember. I just can't remember where I read it.
I know it was what, $220 $29 and they were taking $50 off. Is that right?
No,
That's
it was
the new
$279. Now it's $229. $229 is the new price.
I can get more detail about this too, because I'm actually still really excited for this game.
You're into
I knew you
Assassin's
were,
Creed.
yeah.
Yeah. You're into Assassin's
I'm not
Creed, Mike.
defending them at all, but basically, this is just kind of like some follow-up news of stuff we really only knew. So there's a couple of things people are forgetting. When they first pushed back the game, that's when they announced that they weren't going to have a season pass anymore. And basically, what that means for an Assassin's Creed game, season pass means 2 DLCs. Okay. But we are still getting at least 1 DLC, probably just one. And the DLC everyone's getting for free, like everyone. The base game is going to be getting that DLC. So what they did was they canceled all the pre-orders of the normal versions, like all the digital ones. They couldn't, and they refunded all those. And they said, we'll let you rebuy them, coming up in the future. This special limited edition thing that comes with like the product and stuff, the collectibles. They didn't like send that money back, but they knew they had to lower the price. Hence what they're doing here, because they're not going to do the early release anymore, 3 days, and they're not going to have probably 1 DLC. So actually giving $50 back for 1 DLC and not 3 days early release, I think is pretty generous. What
makes sense. Yeah.
What remains to be seen is, will there only be 1 DLC? Now, again, not every Assassin's Creed has even had DLCs. The latest one before this one also didn't have a DLC. Now, most probably will, the big ones. So the fact that this game is only going to have 1 DLC, I'm like, okay, I guess that's a little sad, especially if I like it. But what really is still the more important thing is how good the base game is. 3 days early access, that was kind of always like a cash grab thing anyways. So the fact that they're not even offering that, I don't know. I guess if people really want to feel better about themselves, get it 3 days early, they could still in theory do that, come around this next February, but I don't think they're going to for whatever reason. They decided not to already. So I'm still excited for the game. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to be playing it either way. But I think this was a good move. Like, people would have been mad if they didn't lower the price, but somehow now people are taking it as like a scary news also.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, if you have like Ubisoft Plus, like you do, Kingsley, you're going to play it anyway. It's like having Game Pass.
Yep.
I'll try it out. I'm not paying the full price for the game. I'm paying that monthly thing, and I can try out whatever games I want to. So why not? If I had Ubisoft Plus, I'd be sure I'll try it out. If I don't like it, I install it, go about my business, and do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to pay full price for the game when it comes out, buy Ubisoft Plus for a month. Try it out for a month. If you don't like it, you paid $17 to $20 for the game, and you're done instead of $60 or whatever you have to pay it full price. So,
what do you? I'm not an Assassin's Creed player. I tried it long ago, and it just wasn't my thing. What do you think about them taking the season pass out, though, Kingsley? Is that a big deal in Assassin's Creed?
No, because like what I mentioned, all the season pass means is 2 DLCs.
Okay. That's what you said.
It's not a season pass like you see in Destiny.
That's what I'm thinking when you say season pass. Yeah.
No, when they season pass, they mean like digital content.
Okay. Sorry, my bad. I misunderstood that part. Okay.
I mean, it will often mean a couple other collectibles too. It doesn't just mean the 2 DLCs, but it's not like a season pass like how we think about in Destiny or other games. So them taking that out, I really don't care that much, especially since they told us we're still getting 1 DLC. I think the big news that people are forgetting that didn't already hear the news about we're getting 1 DLC for free, everyone is now they're hearing season passes gone, are like, oh my gosh, but really that was already news a month or so ago. And then all that means is maybe they had plans for 2 DLCs originally. Now we're only getting 1, but everyone's getting the 1 for free.
Okay. Yeah, I have nothing to add here. This is not in my wheelhouse, so I'll keep my comments to myself.
I love Assassin's Creed games. I played them all the way up through Black Flag before I really fell off. So I used to love to play them things every year.
Great adventure exploration games, kind of like the Uncharted series, or styles like Ghost of Tsushima, or like
I just like the time periods it puts you in, like the one where you were in I think it was Revolutionary War, where you were the kid that was part like Indian or whatever. Remember that one with the tomahawks and everything?
Yeah. Yeah.
That one I
played
loved.
them.
I think that was Assassin's Creed 3. That's what that one was called. I love that one because it took place. I'm a history guy. I love history and getting to go back and play and like during wars and stuff like that. It's cool to see it. You know.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else to add?
Not for me.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. Thanks, Gator. Chet.
No problem.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Thanks,
All
Jeff.
right. Let's move on to our next topic. That will be you, Kingsley. I'll be closing the show out.
That's me.
It is
Okay.
You got it all
Good. It means
set
we'll
up
get
and
through
ready.
the good topics before we have to listen to
Oh,
his.
here we go. This shit begins.
I know when to take my mandatory bathroom
Oh
break.
my God.
In the middle of the show.
Yep. Just mute
Yep.
my mic and get up and walk out.
My story hits kind of
All
home, close to home. So, you good, Kingsley? I'm
Yeah.
not recording yet.
Yeah, I'm good. Just tell me when you're ready.
Okay. Here we go. 3, 2. All right, Kingsley, you are next, sir. What'd you bring to the round table?
Yeah, thank you. I brought a topic that it's hard for me to define what to call it, but you'll understand it all when you start hearing me talk about it. But I'm kind of calling it like community internal gatekeeping. And how we all need to, well, we don't all, but a lot of us need to do better with this. So I just kind of wanted to start off with talk about how like often people will get concerned or worried or upset, or worse, even think it's like a bad idea when someone wants to leave a game or even talk about what they perceive as negative things about a game, and they don't like hearing that. And really it's a bigger issue than even just gaming. If people want some more examples, like you see this in a lot of areas of life also. For example, like religion. I used to belong to a certain high demand religion, and when you leave, people think you're a pariah, right? But that's just taking it giving this personal example and stuff. But of course we see this in clubs, politics, everywhere, and especially gaming, So, another way to look at this and another example is when people say that streamers or reporters should not be shitting on a game. It's not that simple. Look, streamers and reporters, and even us podcasters, it's perfectly okay to talk about issues going on with the game, right? There's never a reason why there should be controls put in place that tell us or streamers or reporters what we should be talking about. Like, only talk about positive things about the game. Don't talk about the negative things, or else you're complaining, right? Otherwise, you're kind of gatekeeping this information. You don't want people to talk about negative things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's okay for people to have opinions also. Usually with reporting and streamers, the way I see it is they hear about some news. There's a segment where they just present the info. And then if they decide to present commentary on it also, they usually switch hats and then they start talking about how they feel about it, right?
Yeah. So
again, anyone who thinks that they shouldn't be talking about things, it almost seems like they're trying to hide or protect information. I often hear people say, like, when they hear streamers or reporters talk about something, they say, oh, they're just complaining, they're shitting on the game. But then usually I'll go and I'll actually read that article. In my opinion, I don't really see it that way. Like, I actually saw them presenting facts as best as they could. And usually there's very little commentary. I often wonder, maybe are people just feeling like they're taking it personally? Like, oh, they're talking bad about the game that I love, so they're taking it personally? I don't know. But what's more, when people say that they're complaining, I kind of like almost laugh inside. I'm like, well, you're complaining about them complaining, so you're kind of complaining too, right? So I don't know. This is just a little pet peeve of mine, something that I think we can do better. I mean, yeah, let's bring up specific points if we don't agree with something that they're saying. It's okay to have like kind arguments, things we disagree with or whatever, but we don't have to just go to a base idea like, oh, they're shitting on the game or they're complaining or something like that. I think in our Discord communities, we're mostly good with this, right? I've not seen really too many people say like, oh, don't talk anything bad about the game. I mean, yeah, we can get in heated discussions where sometimes we have to tone it down a little bit, but I think we're pretty chill for the most part in our Discords. But I do think it's something we should always keep in mind. And this can lead into other topics. I don't know if we get into in other weeks, but Discord etiquette in general. But that's just my quick little topic for this week. What do you guys think on that?
You want to go first, Chet?
No,
Yeah,
go ahead,
Chet.
Todd.
Well, I'm well, my name's right there on the badge. You know, I saw this today on Twitter. I had there was a post where he was talking about how he was upset with the weight gate. And everyone, that was the hot topic. That was what was trending in the Destiny community on Twitter today, X, whatever. Right. And people said, I thought you left the game. Why are you talking about this? You left the game. Like you disgraced us and that part, I kind of feel that's, we got to be a little more mature and be more open-minded to hear other people's points of view. And the only thing where I have a problem with this, and I'm probably being a total hypocrite here, is when Destiny content creators have to announce, I'm leaving Destiny, I quit. And it's just so clickbaity that it just turns me away. I love Destiny. I love the game Destiny. And it's really hard for me to watch videos just shitting all over it. It really is. And, but I did watch his video, this particular person. There were several that put out videos like this. And some of them I can tell it was just clickbait. They were just complaining and moaning how this, Destiny's not doing this or not doing this. And I'm just so tired of it and stuff. Is that really content? Is that really content? Is it?
Real Sorry, quick. I mean, are they not supposed to talk about it?
No, I understand.
They can talk about their lived truth. And since they're streamers, everything they get paid for is clickbait. So it's like, are they not allowed to talk about it because you don't want to hear about it? I mean, I only see something as complaining unless people are like using really complaining words all the time. Like, I hate this game. It's no fun, blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, I give people the benefit of the doubt.
Like I said,
exactly. I'll listen to it. And then if they get to a point where it's just, they're saying whatever hot topic anybody's saying in their video, then that's clickbait. But actually making a point, I'll listen to them and everything. I mean, everybody's got their opinion. If you don't want to play Destiny or whatever game you're talking about no more, and you make a video and people listen to it, they listen. If they don't, they don't. I mean,
I've heard this with leaving religion too. People have said, don't talk about it if you leave, just leave quietly. But that's people that don't want to hear it. If you don't want to hear it, don't listen to it. But I'm allowed to talk about my experiences while I left religion. You're allowed to not listen to it. You know what I mean? So
exactly. Yeah.
Well,
you have your opinion. Yeah, I mean, you vote a certain way. You voted that way. You can talk about it. I don't have to agree with it, but
exactly. Yeah,
I can listen. But I mean, it is what it is. It's the same thing with games. I mean,
yeah, Well, I guess my point on this particular example was, it was just a bummer spiral. There was really no discussion. It was just him shitting on the game and talking about how Bungie's not doing this, Bungie's not doing that. And just, there was nothing redeemable from the video. And I don't know. Like I said, I've never put a down thumb, whatever, a thumbs down on any video, but that was one I actually did, because I thought this has nothing to do with the point you're trying to make. All it is you just sitting there and not even complaining, but just talking about all the negative things. And sometimes I'll have guests on the show that it's just like I don't know, they'll just be down on something and I'll get comments. People say, that didn't really add any value to the show. And I think twice sometimes, when I'm thinking about bringing guests on. And if it's something that doesn't contribute to the show and it's wasting people's time, then I'll cut it. I won't put it in the show. So I don't know. My biggest thing was content creators that are Destiny content creators that are throwing the announcement flag up that I quit or I'm not doing Destiny anymore. And that's fine. I understand. We all want to play different games. Hell, even me, I'm playing Balatro. I'm playing Call of Duty Zombies tonight. I'm going to be playing Ghost of Tsushima very soon. I'm playing other games. I don't want people to crap on me because I'm not playing Destiny all the time, but I'm trying to expand my repertoire of games and not just play Destiny, because what I'm worried about, and this is what I worry about players who get ridiculed for leaving games, is they're just going to get burnt out on the game. And that doesn't help anybody. So, people that leave our community to take a break, I'm like, you know what? Good for you. You knew when to back out and take a breath and then regroup, play other games, have other experiences. And then when you're ready, come back and play Destiny again. I have no problem with that. But these videos that are just just spiraling down the drain, adding no value to the video at all, I just can't stand those videos. Yeah. They just bug me.
It's a very valid point, and I'm not saying there's not anyone that doesn't complain.
Sure.
But I always like to take this nuanced approach, as you know, with me, and I think we can all do a little bit better if we give people the benefit of the doubt. There's obviously going to be videos that are super negative, but a lot of people will say that even for videos that aren't super negative, just because they feel personally attacked. Yeah. So something to keep in mind there. And then also, if something is super negative, you don't even need to complain about that. Just stop watching the video,
Yeah.
Because you complain about that. I know you're not right now, Gator, but if you complain about that, you're adding to this complaining mentality in the universe, So you can say you don't agree with it, leave it at that. It's just a pet peeve of mine. People can do whatever they want. Go ahead and complain. Yeah. But it's one of these things that it's just kind of been on my mind. But if you want to say any last word, you too, I'm done with that. So.
Well, I just wanted to add a couple other points I want to mention. You mentioned real life situations and this part of the gang mentality in politics, life, religion, other things. I mean, I've never seen the United States so divided in all my time on this earth. And I'm not going to get political. I'm just saying that if someone throws it out there that they're supporting a certain candidate, it's like they get marked. All of a sudden they're marked. I've seen families break up, don't speak to each other because of stupid political candidates. In the grand scheme of things, whoever gets elected in the past, whoever's gotten elected, that I'm like, oh God, hold on. It's going to be a rough ride. We end up okay. So as far as that goes, but I tell you what, I see it in my industry as well. I'll give you a prime example here. I'm gonna turn my volume down because I think I'm a little tight. I'm a little tight here. The pest management industry I'm in, there is a tug of war right now between what is called green pest control and more conventional methods of pest control and pest management in controlling pests in Florida and the United States for that matter. But I'll see where I will mention my methods and some people will brand me as killing the environment and hurting the public, which is just total nonsense. But I'll just see it in their eyes whenever I bring it up in conversation. People are very opinionated and tend to stick to their side of the argument. And it just boggles my mind that people aren't even open-minded enough to even hear the other side of the argument or why I use conventional methods versus green methods, using natural bacteria to control caterpillars and, things of that sort. It's like they won't even consider thinking of any other method to control their pest problem and around their house. And I think what it is they either feel like if they do listen to the other side, they're going to feel stupid or embarrassed about what they were clinging so tightly to. I think that's the biggest fear in America right now. I don't know, but I can't speak for the rest of the world, but in America, people are so worried about looking bad or being on the wrong side or having the wrong opinion or clinging to the wrong ideals that they just hang on to their side. And we even have different news channels now, which is unheard of, that talk about different aspects of the election and and it's amazing when you watch these two separate channels, how different views, how totally different it is. And people really stick to their side. I'm not going to get any more political than that, but I will just say this. There are companies out there that offer green pest control. And I will tell you this, I've been doing it for nearly 30 years now. I've tried green pest control. I've tried natural methods to control pests, but we're in Florida, brother. We have bugs on steroids here. Now, maybe in Vermont, where you see bugs maybe in the summertime and everything dies from the frost in the winter, but in Florida, it's the jungle, baby. And those methods just don't work here. So from trial and error, and I'm my own boss. I can try whatever I want. If there's a new product out, I'm always buying it and trying it. Even the sales rep will give me a free product sample or something to try out, and I'll try it, and it utterly fails. But I will still have people I'll pull up, and I'll realize right away that they want green, natural, organic pest control or pest management around their house, and it's something that I can't guarantee will control their problem. So Zombie pops in here. He's a fellow pest management professional in North Carolina. He can attest to this. Yeah, chemicals are bad. Don't spray near my house. Well, I hate to tell you, would you rather have a barrier outside your house that stops those roaches, or do you want to wake up in the middle of the night with a roach crawling on your face? And let's not negate the fact that roaches carry disease, and they'll be in your trash can outside carrying that bacteria and put it on top of your countertops. This isn't a pest control podcast. I'm not going to get into it, but I will talk shop if you let me. But that's my point, though, is people will be so stuck on green pest control. They'll put these sonic monitors in their house thinking that that's going to stop the pest because they saw it on TV. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work in Florida. Maybe in Vermont, maybe in Washington State, but it doesn't work in Florida. But I will see people just grip onto that part of the equation. And that's just a real life example. I thought of that when we were talking about what you were going to talk about tonight, Kingsley. And
love it. And I believe you when you say, like, if for some reason in the future they did have some magical green thing that was a lot better, you would consider it. But you know what's best right now because you're the professional. You have that experience.
Yeah.
My family, my father-in-law, he's a pediatrician, a doctor, and he has a lot of experience with stuff. He's just retired, but like you kind of know when you're really into an industry, you know, if you're into it, you kind of know your stuff. It's funny you mentioned the sonic things. We had a gopher problem recently.
Oh, okay. I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
Yeah. The first thing we tried, because I think it was more the wife's idea. I'm not trying to put any shame on her, but we tried one of those sonic things we got from Amazon, the little sticks you put in the ground, and supposedly it's a sound that'll scare them away.
Yeah.
It didn't work. Now, do you think those could work ever, or probably like very unlikely they're going to work? Just as a side
It's
point?
probably not at the frequency that they care about. Now, I tell you, I tell you, I've used home remedies before. You know those little windmills that you buy, those garden windmill, those little not weather vanes, but the little sunflower wind things that turn on a metal stick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have had people try sticking those in the four corners of their yard, and it will keep moles out of their house. I'm out of their yard. Moles are very territorial. One mole can be an acre.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but basically we hired a professional eventually because it wasn't taking care of it. And the professional, they try to do it where they put traps and they try to catch it alive and release it off in a field somewhere, whatever they do. But
right.
they said we can't guarantee it. And they did catch the gopher and showed me, and it was dead. And we were like, no big deal. You know, like in theory, it would be nice if they could catch it alive and release it somewhere. But we're not going to be like, you killed the gopher. And like, we were just happy to have the issue taken care of, you know?
I hear you, man.
So,
I hear you.
and the professional took care of it, and we don't have any new holes or mounds. So we're really happy.
There's, like I said, this isn't a pest control or pest management podcast.
Hey, it's fun to get off on the weeds sometimes.
It is. I will bring us off on a tangent if we do. But no, great topic, Kingsley. Chet, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm closing out the show. We'll do that right after this. All right, y'all, I'm going to be real. It's going to get a little personal with my story, okay?
Of course, Sin wrote up earlier, I'm just going to disagree with Kingsley just to disagree.
I saw that. I'm going to try something real quick here. I'm going to see if this works.
Twitch you can, but it doesn't look like YouTube you can.
I'm not sure. You can look up participants, but sometimes it doesn't show everybody. I can't.
Like it says 13 watching now, but
Yeah.
if you look at participants, that's only who's chatting, not who's watching.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think they have to participate in the chat for them to be noticed by YouTube. I don't think
Kinda
it's
too
like
bad.
I know
Okay.
with Twitch and everybody in that they'll put the whole list of everybody in there.
Yeah,
I always pull that up just to see if there's anybody I know in there, and I'll whisper them. But yeah, Jimmy, no community questions this week. That'll be next week. This week it's just Roundtable. I tell you what. If we have time, I'm looking at the clock here. If we have time after this, I'll look up a few of them. Why not? Sure. I'll look up a few if you guys want to stick around. I'll answer some questions. I also
Chet shaking his head.
no. Okay.
I'm joking. I don't care.
Also, we have a Scumdesk Corner tonight, and I wanted to try testing it with you guys. Will be my guinea pigs. Hey, what's up? 2009. Who's that? Gutierrez. Who's that? You got to tell me who your gamer tag is. YouTube will just tell me whatever your YouTube name is.
Well, just like Big Box and who's Big Box? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, if you're in the Discord under a different name, we won't recognize you. But like I tell you who did it right was KJ. He put Deadpool 1 Merc in parentheses next to it. That's the way to do it. But I'm sorry if we don't recognize you guys, unfortunately. Oh, Steel Zealot. Yeah. Steel Zealot will be here
All right,
next
cool.
week.
Oh, yeah.
You will see his face next week. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna what I'm gonna do, we're not recording. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try my virtual soundboard at the end of the stream, and I want to see if you guys can hear Uncle Scumdeath, and you guys will be my guinea pig on this first one. And if it works and we can still hear our audio, then I might incorporate it into the live show. But yeah, Scumdeath had a Scumdeath Corner this week too, so we'll see how that goes if that stuff works. I'm almost afraid to press a button and everything will just collapse, but
Your whole computer will crash.
it'll be crazy. Yeah, it'll be crazy. So everybody good bathroom wise, you guys?
You just got to bring Sin on the show too. He helped me with our sound clips in our last episode last week.
Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that. You know what? I'll mention that before I do my topic.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to mention you guys.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to
Really
mention
nice.
you guys. I meant to do it the first part of the show, and I'll just mention it before I start talking. But yeah, it might get personal tonight. Just letting you guys know. This story has been kind of on my mind, and I'm already like 2 shows ahead as far as what stories I want to bring to the table, and this is something that I've always been wanting to talk about. So, all right, if you guys are good, I'm good. All right, here we go. Let me get a drink first. Feel my voice is cracking a little. All right, here we go. 3, 2. All right, and then there was one. My topic I'll be bringing to the table tonight is why being a gamer has its advantages and why I feel I'm ahead of others in my older existence versus my friends in real life who don't game. This is something I've been wanting to talk about for a while now. And I know my friends don't listen or watch this podcast, so I'm not worried about calling them out. They won't know, and I'm not going to mention their names. But before I get into that, I did want to give a shout out. The Guardian Hub, which ran their last show last week. It's a really good way to go out, really classy way to do it. They had a live show in their Discord, and anybody who wanted to jump in and say a few words, it was really, really well done, guys. But the Guardian Hub,
Thank you for helping in GATR. That was really kind of you.
Oh, not a problem, man, not a problem. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a shout out. The Guardian Hub, if you haven't listened to their last show yet, it is out on whatever podcast feed you guys use out there. So yeah, really had a great time listening to you guys all these years. And like I said, I remember back in the olden days, Hazel and I would always comment on your shows. I think we were pretty close to the same amount of time when we released, and then you guys staggered it a little bit, so we were able to sometimes listen before or after. But it was always a good time. So I just wanted to give you guys a shout out. That was a fantastic show. So, okay. I am here to tell all of you, as fellow gamers, that we have a distinct advantage over our boring, vanilla friends and family who think gaming is for kids. As an older gamer, I might be a little defensive here as I encounter that look whenever I mention that I produce a gaming podcast or that I manage a gaming community. You know, sometimes I'll say, well, hey, maybe I can impress them by saying that I'm a partnered YouTube content creator. That'll soften the blow of their predetermined judgment in their eyes, but nope. Sometimes I really feel like an odd nut out there. I really do. Some of my clients actually know that I game and are really cool about it. Hell, I was talking to some older clients, think mid-60s, like nearing retirement age, husband and wife. And when I mentioned my gaming, they told me that they both play fantasy and survival games like Dead by Daylight and Resident Evil. And they even said one of the husbands said that he played a ton of Bloodborne. And I'm like, dang, that game was tough. And these 60-somethings aced it? You can really be surprised who plays games online these days. But here's the stats according to Google. The kiddos, which are under 18, make up 20% of all gamers. 18 to 34-year-olds, which are the biggest group, by the way, make up 38% of all gamers out there. 35 to 44-year-olds make up 14%. 45 to 54-year-olds make up 12%. 55 to 64-year-olds make up 9%. And if you're older than 65, you make up 6% of the player base.
Oh, wait, no.
I knew there was going to be a comment on that. So, I mean, it doesn't take any math genius to figure out that I'm at the bottom 15% of all gamers out there in the world. That's depressing.
You're on the 6?
Well, I mean, I'm at the bottom. I'm at the 65 and the other one. I'm not going to mention it. That means that only 15% of us that discovered one of the first gaming consoles, which was the Atari 2600, still enjoy gaming today. What am I missing here? Gaming has so many benefits to all of us, especially to us older gamers. And it is so apparent whenever I'm around my buddies my age. Some of them are a little bit older. I mention something like Discord or Reddit, audio or video editing, or even Destiny 2, or I might even mention Call of Duty. And I feel like I might as well be talking Japanese, as it just goes right over their head. I get that blank stare and like they don't know what to say. It's the weirdest thing to experience. I have a nameplate on my desk that my wife and kids got me a long time ago. It says, "I'm kind of a big deal." And I know it's an inside joke that my wife and kids got me over the years. And I actually have it right here. You guys can see it. I'm kind of a big deal. Don't mean that. Don't clip that. But it reminds me to keep my ego in check every time I look at that little plaque. But I tell you what, sometimes I feel like I might be a big deal because I consider myself kind of having a superpower as a gamer. There are many reasons why I say this, but because I game, I can, one, problem solve without getting too frustrated. I'll give you my big termite job I did this week as an example. I just finished this 2 days ago. I had a big estate home. They had these little termites eating apart this house in the door frames and the baseboards, hell, even probably in some of the truss work, just piece by piece tearing this house apart. Some scary shit. You know, that wood doesn't replace itself. It has to be replaced completely, which costs tens of thousands of dollars to do. But when I approach a house, I treat it like a game. The first thing I do is I break the house down into organized parts. We got the porch, we got the kitchen, we got the bathrooms, we got the main living areas, and then we got the garage. Just like I would break things down, I'm trying to figure out in a game like Balatro. That game really works my brain, I'll tell you. But also, like when I'm playing a raid, I'll break down all of the encounters and what jobs I need to do on each encounter the same way as I treated this house that I'm taking care of as far as the termites. Being able to problem solve that way makes my job so much more fun and enjoyable, and sometimes I really love my job. Another thing it does is help with my memory. Now, don't laugh. I know I can't remember half the terms in Destiny, but I bet you that I could identify 85% of the weapons in Destiny if you were to ask me them by name. Looking at you, sweaty spooks. It's your move, buddy. If I was to live in a lifestyle that a lot of my friends at my age do, it's plopping down with a beer every night watching the game, I really think my memory would be so much worse. So if anything, I think gaming has at least slowed my cognitive decline. But how about our community? I love all the different types of gamers that make up our community. I love talking with them and learning about their lives, and even better, doing a raid or crucible or even a clan night, playing Iron Banner. It's gold. I can imagine there are a lot of people my age out there that are lonely out there in the world. And if I could just be a fly on the wall and just grab them and introduce them to these awesome gaming communities that we all jump into these days, I bet that he or she would find something new in their life that would get them excited to jump in like a game after work, even if it was only for an hour or so. Community is awesome. The main reason I still love the game these days is, one, I love to challenge myself, which, hey, we're gamers. We all like to do that, right? But more importantly, it helps me reduce the stresses in my life, which we all share. Life can sometimes get really real, but jumping into that video game world, it just melts away all the internal dialogue that stresses me out all the time. Gaming has really been instrumental in balancing things in my life. And I still say this today, a good life is all about balance. We're not always perfect with our balance of roles and responsibilities in our lives, but I think gaming really helps. Life can be very hectic, and gaming is really good at slowing it all down for me. Now, there's a bunch of other things that studies have touted to improve people that game, like brain plasticity, motivation, engagement, cognitive enhancement. But the one thing I have to attribute to gaming that I'm so grateful for to this day is keeping my eye-hand coordination. When I was 8, I played my first Little League game. I had to learn how to connect a ball with a bat coming at me at 50 to 60 miles an hour. Hey man, I was 8 years old. That might as well have been 100 miles an hour. If I think about it back then, it still feels like that. As I got into my teens, I had honed that skill, but now the pitches were coming at me at 65 to 85 miles an hour, and I loved it. If I look back at my life, one of the best feelings in the world is connecting that bat in that sweet spot and watching that ball sail. Top 10 moment of my life for sure. I was a shy, terrified little kid, but I felt fantastic whenever I solidly hit the ball like that. When I was playing my company softball league, I was still hitting softballs over the fence and not using shaved down bats like my 20-somethings did. I used a good old-fashioned aluminum bat, plain and simple. I remember one time the silence that fell in the dugout when I would hit an opposite field home run. For those of you who don't play baseball or softball, it's when you hit a ball on the weak side of your swing. If you're right-handed, for instance, your power is hitting the ball to the right side of you, like third base. But if you have the right coordination, you can actually push the ball to the left. The pros do it all the time. It takes a lot of strength and a lot of coordination, a lot of eye-hand coordination. I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic, but I started playing first-person shooters in 2007 with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and I really think that playing those games really helped me to keep that very valuable skill to me. It's why I really love the Crucible so much in Destiny 2. My brain is on fire trying to keep up with the younger players, but in time you learn to adapt and play the player, not the game. It's why I consider Crucible my modern chess game, but in half-second increments, right? Really quick. So in closing, I just want to remind all of you, no matter what your age, being a gamer is badass. And if you continue to play like I have all these years, you may be surprised how much of it you still retain from when you were a younger adult. Now, if y'all will just look over here, my 8-part series on how to also be a big deal, just send me $499, 4 easy payments of $124.99. You too can be a big deal. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
Love it.
That was my topic. That's what's been on my mind. And I'm curious what you guys both think about this.
Well, of course, I agree with it. I mean, I was trying to think any nuances of it. I do feel like people that are older, maybe if they're not into games or back before video games were around, there are still ways to stay somewhat sharp. Like if you think about constantly reading books, doing crossword puzzles, things like that. But there is more to gaming also, right? I mean, it's like a constant visual in front of your face that you're seeing different things and you need to interact to each of these things all the time. or you can play a lower end game that's not as fast paced or a higher end game. The hand eye coordination thing is interesting too, because I think there's some nuance there also. Like, I've never been really good at like the physical, like catching a ball or something like that. But in games, and I'm still not good these days, even after playing video games many years, but in games, I can make do in a different way. And even over as I've gotten a little bit older, and we all lose a little bit of our quick reaction time as compared to when we were younger.
Yeah.
And I have like really, really like minor arthritis issues that are starting to creep up.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how to deal with it because my brain is staying sharp, where I know I may not be able to like click the fire button as quickly, but I know how to get around it. I've learned through experience, and I'm always constantly, when I'm playing in arenas, know where to find cover, know how to stay alive. So if the ads or other people, the rare case I'm playing PvP, are shooting at me, I know where that cover is. I know things that I can do that even though I'm not as quick on the offensive side, I can play my defensive side really well. And so, yeah, I agree with all those points. And I think it's awesome, too, if we can get people our age or even older than us into this. I think people are somewhat open to the idea. Maybe we can get our parents on like some mobile games, and then maybe I kind of doubt they'll really want to sit down and play on a console or I don't know, maybe they will. Maybe get them a PS5 and they're just sitting on a couch or something. But
yeah,
there's a chance. I'm kind of surprised too, like what things can, like my parents, they've always been okay with computers. They get around them fine, but I always didn't have an impression like they like to do anything with gaming or computers. But then all of a sudden I found out my mom, she loves crafting, and she has like this knitting thing, and she made a YouTube channel, and she has over 5,000 followers now.
Wow, dude, that's awesome.
And she just talks about like doing stuff, and she goes to like conventions across the US, and people know her and meet up with her, and
I love hearing that.
And I don't even get into that stuff. Like, it's funny, when she first was starting, she was asking me like, how do I edit this video on YouTube? And you know more about this too, Gator, than I do, but like that stuff bores me. Like, I can tell you how to fix your computer, but I can't tell you how to edit a video good for YouTube. So sorry, but she figured it out, and she knows that stuff way better than I do now, and I give her major props for that. So yeah, technology, gaming in general, I think it's just another means to give us something to work on, to focus on. Anything's better than just watching TV movies. I mean, that's fun too. You got to do that, but interactive stuff is always better.
Yeah, good points. Man, I know that about your mom. That's pretty cool. Chet, what do you think, man? Has gaming really helped you keep a lot of your skills through the years?
Oh, yeah.
I know you're getting up there too.
Oh, yeah, it has. It has really helped. But I mean, I see it from an IT perspective and doing what I do. How many times I hear this in a week, in a day, and I know Kingsley's heard it. People come in, I'm not technology savvy. Technology scares me. You know, me and technology don't get along. And that's those older people you see, so they're not going to get into an Xbox, a PlayStation, PC, because they're going to look at it and be like the same reason you don't play keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
You're used to controller. They're used to what feels like home to them, and what feels like home to them is not playing the games and everything. And then they look at all these other younger people than them playing them. Like, how can you're 40 years old? Why aren't you doing something else with your life? You know?
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I see where they're coming from there, but like my mom and dad, there's no way on God's green earth I could get them to play a game. It ain't gonna happen. I'm not even gonna try it. It's just not. It's not their thing. My mom has enough trouble. She keeps bugging me about her computer. She's like, I can't upgrade to Windows 11 because your computer won't go to Windows 11. I've looked at it. If you want a computer on Windows 11, you're going to have to buy one. Your computer won't run it. You know.
Hey, so, Chet, do you ever feel like with the IT things, sometimes people just like they could figure out basic things, but they give up too easily, right? It's like it's like a car. Like if your car won't start, anyone, even if you're not into cars, you could think, well, do we have gas? Is the battery on and stuff? Like, if a computer won't start, can you at least check and see if the power cord's plugged in, or a couple basic things? It's not like you have to be super techie to do basic troubleshooting. It's just basic logic. You kind of try one thing, you try another thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and, I'm not expecting you to take the thing apart and
Yeah, of course not.
reset your memory or reset your battery. You know, I'm not expecting you to do that. But yeah, basic stuff like most people don't understand. You bring me your computer, it's not working. I'm gonna sit there with your computer sitting over here while I'm on my machine googling what the area is so I can see if anybody else has ever run into it. If I don't know it right off the top of my head, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Big Box had a good question here. I mean, we've been talking about all the positive things in gaming. He says, curious to think if there are any negative consequences to gaming. Oh, absolutely. It's like everything in life. It's balance. Yeah. I'll tell you just a quick story here. When I first got married, I was so addicted to Call of Duty. It was an addiction, plain and simple. I was addicted to playing. I had just learned about first-person shooters. My son got me introduced me to Call of Duty 4, and I couldn't put it down. It was such a revelation to me. And I mean, I'm a gamer. I've played games in my past, but first-person shooters, man, it lit something up in my brain. Maybe it's that dopamine that they know how to manipulate so well, but it almost killed my marriage. It almost did. There was a point to where we were having a come to Jesus meeting quite frequently. And I think if my wife didn't care enough to shake me out of it, we'd probably be divorced today. I'm being honest. We would. And sometimes it takes someone that loves you, that really cares about your well-being, to make you see what's not where you're so close to it. You don't see it. All you see is, oh, I gotta get the diamond camo on my UMP 45. I gotta get it. Yeah, babe, I'll be right there, babe. I'll be right there. Yeah. How many times have we done that? How many times have someone walked in, and I still do it to this day, and my wife nearly smacks my ass when I do that. So when I try to do, and my son has helped me with this, when someone comes and approaches me in the office, I will place down the controller, I will turn around, and I will address them eye to eye. Do I always do it? No, because sometimes I'm in the middle of a raid and I got to get the DPS down on the boss. There's no pause button on Destiny, damn it. But you get my point. There are certainly bad things, and it's like anything in life. If you can do too much, if you water a plant too much, you can strangle those roots and kill it. That's a good example. If you do anything, if you overwater a plant, if you play too many video games, you don't have enough time for your family and for other people in your life or yourself to get away from the screen and take a break and go talk to some people in your house. Mm-hmm. You're just down the road. You're gonna pop. So, firsthand experience, folks. I can tell you, it can be an addiction. It can be a problem. So, yeah, Big Box, that was a good question. Good question there, man.
And you can be addicted to bounties.
No, yeah, that's something that never goes away. There'll always be bounties in Destiny. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's everything. Yeah, we're saying makes sense. I mean, we all agree, gaming, and yeah, you can go overboard. It's like anything. I don't know if I can think of really any other downsides other than the obvious one of overdoing it. Like you could overdo anything in life.
Yeah.
Some people will probably try to tell you incorrectly that it's easier to get addicted to video games or they're worse for you than other things. I wouldn't listen to those people with just straight ideas. Like if you're unsure, talk to a professional. Counseling, like see how much you're playing compared to other people, because there are people that don't like video games and will use that as a reasoning, and they would see even someone playing like 1 hour like a couple times a week, you're addicted. And so that's not necessarily true, but definitely it's something to be mindful. But I think there's way more positives than there are negatives.
I'll give you a positive here. Chad, I'll cut you off if you want to say something too, man.
No, you're gonna go ahead.
I before I even did podcasting, any of this stuff, I was watching Dad Tells podcast, and I shout out to Potato Thumbs podcast. They had the distinguished gentleman on this week. It was a great show, Fluffy and Admiral Nips. I was wanting to find an adult, like a dad's gaming clan, and place to hang out with other dads that like the game, you know? And I ran into this podcast, which I didn't even know what podcasts were back then, called Dad's Tales Podcast. And I got to know these guys personally. And you know what I did? I think I came in on like episode 85. I went all the way back to episode 1. I wanted to hear everything about these guys. I wanted to know really what they were all about. And there's some stand-up guys, let me tell you. And they always laughed. They always had fun during the shows and stuff. And that really made me feel good. Anyway, my point is that once they decided to quit, I didn't want that feeling to go away. So that's when myself, Hazel and T, and I want to shoot. Gator, help me here, man. My third host at the very beginning.
Easy.
Easy Gaming. Yes. Not Easy Gaming. Easy. And I'll edit that out. We all three decided, hey, we want to keep this going. And the community was like, hey, we want to continue this. We want to have some gamer dads that still come back and we can listen to every week. And in fact, RNG Gator was in this community before I was. In fact, I remember coming into the Discord, not knowing really what Discord was, and they all labeled me the other Gator. So now he's the other Gator.
Especially since you spell it wrong.
Yeah, no. That's a play on words, right? But anyway, my point is that since then, I've not only learned how to podcast, I've learned how to record, I've learned how to edit audio. I learned how to put shows together. I think we put around, I want to say 175 shows. And then I decided, I think it was on Two Titans and a Hunter. I decided, you know what? I've had this YouTube just hanging around forever, just posting gameplays. I want to make some videos to help new players into this game that I love to play. So I got into video editing. I got into recording clips, putting them all together, I'm not the greatest YouTuber as far as graphics and stuff. I'm learning slowly but surely, but it's a lot. And then finally, now today, I'm putting a live podcast stream together. All of these, everything you see on this stream right now, I put together by hand, and I've been fretting over it. Trust me. I hate learning new things sometimes. It's really frustrating, but because of getting into podcasting and to Destiny 2, I've come all this way where I'm kind of a big deal, guys. No, just kidding. But gaming in general, look at how much I know now, know how to do. I can actually I can create videos. I can create podcasts, which I love doing, by the way. I love interacting with chat. I like talking every day in the Discord. We have come a long way since just not even knowing what a damn podcast was. So there's a real life example of how gaming has helped me just through the years. And we're going into year 6 now of this podcast. So, all right, I'm off my high horse. Chet, Mike, you guys, anything else you want to add?
Nope.
Gaming is
Arms of
great.
the Angel.
We love it. That's why we're here.
Well, you guys did great tonight. Thank you very much for hanging with me this first roundtable together. We're still trying to feel each other out a little bit. Pause. Right, son? And we're kind of feeling each other's chemistry here and trying to put things together. And this show we're almost like we're starting again. We're starting like brand new. We're like the Phoenix coming from the ashes, you know? We've always done audio only podcasts, and now here we are doing live streams every Friday. At least we're going to try to. So,
got to be scary for you. A whole big mix up here.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have rosacea. I'm Northern European, and my skin tends to blotch. So
I get red.
I've always been very, very self-aware about how I look on camera. So anytime you see me cover my mouth or doing this, it's because that's my insecurity of trying to cover something on my face. And unfortunately, I got it from my dad and my mom, and I can't do anything about it. So, yeah. Hey, Jimmy, I don't know, man. I don't know. I've messaged him a few times. He's still out there. He's doing good. Hazel's doing good. I have contacted him, and he contacted me, reached out when Milton ran across Central Florida, and yeah, he's doing good. He's doing good. So yeah, all the best to Hazel. I don't know if he still listens or not. I really don't. I hope he does, but yeah. Anything else, guys, before we close out the show tonight? I think we're right on schedule.
I think I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, I will end it there for the podcast part. And now we're going to be here for you guys. What do you guys want to talk about? We'll hang out for a little bit here, and anything you guys want to talk about our topics. You have any questions for us personally? I know you're not used to seeing these two guys next to me. Any questions for them?
Yeah.
Anything from the chat?
I'm trying to figure out what Jimmy meant with that comment to me. Didn't
go far
I
back.
didn't go that far back in the
enough.
podcast. Did he go rip? What does that mean?
Oh, did Hazel go away? RNG Gator and Kingsley have been on this podcast almost since the beginning. Kingsley was on episode 8. Don't ignore all that bad sound, by the way. I was learning. And RNG Gator, I think, was 26, 29, something like that. If you can go to guardiandowncast.com, you can search for any of these two gentlemen right here, and it'll give you every episode they've been on. I put a lot of work into that website to make sure it's easy for you guys to find, to find our episodes. And if you want to go back and listen to certain guests that were on, we've had Ascendant Nomad on the show before. We've had, Dan Finity on a million times. We've had a lot of, YouTubers on in the past, but I've kind of curtailed a lot of that. And I just enjoy talking with the community because these are the people I see every day. And I'm not saying that I won't bring on, YouTubers in the Destinyverse, in a future show, but let's just say I'm not gonna go chasing people. I just don't think that's just not a good look. So
well, and it's kind of a waste of time because it's hard to get a hold of them now. If anyone knows has a great contact and can give us a in, but yeah, it's a lot of work, and they probably aren't available anyways, right? But
I mean, the life of a YouTuber is rough. I've learned that the hard way. I've watched a lot of my favorite Destiny YouTubers that have to play other games because they got to feed their family, and they got to pay their bills. It's easy for me. I can just go kill more bugs tomorrow, and I can got my bills covered. I can't rely on YouTube to pay my bills. And by the way, I'll have the ads switched off. I thought I had that switched off tonight. If you got ads tonight, I'm sorry. I won't put ads on the live shows. If you play the replays, you probably will see a few ads, but I will not run ads starting next week. I was in a rush. I was in a rush tonight. So
he told us before the show started in our chat that he was going to run ads. He needed to make some money. Don't listen to him.
You bring the side back.
Luckily, I have YouTube Premium, so I didn't see any ads.
I do too. I mean, I pay the $15 a month, so I don't have to deal with any ads. And I even have Mozilla blockers and all kinds of ad blockers too. It's never been an issue for me, but I know YouTube is cracking down on a lot of that stuff. But no, well, I think I had them on the lowest setting, like conservative. So I could get much more aggressive with ads. I hate ads. You guys know I hate ads. That's why we have a Patreon community. They support all the production costs, all the services we pay for, our hosting fees, all that stuff. They pay for that stuff, through our Patreon. So, that's how we cover stuff. It's not about making money. I just want to cover all the production costs and make my hobby where it doesn't cost me anything. So all I have to do is just produce content every week. Right. So.
Hell yeah.
Mega ads for you, like every 8 minutes. Yeah. If you don't have YouTube Premium, you're going to get bombarded with ads, but don't sweat it, man. Next week, I promise I'll have all that stuff switched off.
That's nice that you can do that.
Yeah. I am going to run zombies, but I don't know if I'm going to do it tonight. We'll have to see how much energy I got, because what you guys don't know is when I turn the stream off and the podcast off, I then have to go in post-production mode where I have to organize files and sound clips and put everything and organize it. And then Sunday, I always make it a point to skip a day before I do any editing on the show, because I want to have a fresh mind going in and edit. I edit on Sundays, and then it comes out midnight on Monday morning. That's how I've always released my shows. I try to keep us consistent to that schedules. Sometimes I may run into a snag, or I'm out to dinner with my parents and it may be 2 a.m. before you see it, but I try to get it so the UK folk and the European listeners can hear it on their Monday morning drive to work. So that's the way it is.
Honestly, with you being East Coast, I think you forget this a lot, but if you do release it at midnight, we're actually still getting it on Sunday through the rest of the U.S.
That's didn't think of that. That's right. You guys are still getting it on Sunday
9
night.
o'clock for California, even.
That's right. I didn't think of that. Yeah. Well, it is God's time. I mean, come on. Eastern time is God's time, right, Gator? Or Chet?
Yep.
Yeah. You guys want to hear a Scumdesk Corner? I'll try doing this.
Sure, give it a
And
shot.
if the audio goes to crap, then so be it. But give me a few seconds. I need to just make a few changes in our settings here. God help us. Here we go. Pressing a button. If the stream goes dead for some reason, you guys will know why. So here we go. I'm going to open up the virtual soundboard.
It's not going to crash your computer.
It's not going to crash my computer. I got plenty of computer to run everything. I just want to make sure that everything comes through all right. Let me, I need to change, okay. It's going to get ugly here on the screen for a second, guys. Just letting you know. Bear with me. How come I have, okay. Okay, I got that. Let's go. I need to do it on my voice and video settings real quick. Yep, I had a feeling. Change my source.
Yeah, the whole chat will riot if it gets messed up.
Well, can you guys still hear me? I've got the virtual
Yes.
soundboard connected. All right.
We can.
Thumbs up in the chat, guys. You guys can hear me? Let me, I don't have the chat up. I mean, I don't have the stream up, so I can't. Give me a second here. I'll see if I can get
Turn
it.
the volume up and see.
Well,
Yeah,
can you
I
guys
can
still hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
still
I
hear
can
you.
hear myself.
Stream.
Okay, it's working. All right, let's see if you guys can hear Uncle Scumdeath. We have a Scumdeath Corner tonight. I'm going to put this in post, but let's see if you guys can hear him. Here we go. Is that? So, Uncle Scumdeath, what's going on in the UK today, brother?
Hello, welcome to Scumdeath's Corner. I've had the week from hell due to my motorbike. I had my yearly MOT, which is from my motorbike, which is your yearly test to make sure it's roadworthy. And I knew my tyres were a bit low, so I needed to replace the tyres. So I went to a reputable tyre company. I said, yeah, just put the budget tyres on. And they said, oh, if you're riding in the winter and all that, you need to put these tyres on. So it cost me £330 for 2 tyres. So it's like, okay, yeah, no problem. So it's a lot of money for 2 tyres, but, they are what attaches your motorbike to the road. So you might as well pay for the best. So I got the best on. And then after 7 miles... Well, they said to me, we can do your MOT test, which is your safety test. So I'm like, we do it cheap. We do it £5 cheaper than where I usually go. And which flags up really, because where I usually go, he lets me get away with quite a few bits. So I thought, I'll save a £5. Yeah, I'll let these MOT it. So I left it there. Once I had the tyres done, like I said, I did 7 miles, took it back there, and then left it there. They did the MOT, and they said, oh, unfortunately, it failed the test because there's a nail in the tyre. And I'm like, and loads of other stuff. I'm like, what? A nail in the tyre? I've done 7 miles on that fucking tyre, in the rear tyre. They're like, oh, yeah. So when I looked, it wasn't a nail. It was a massive chunk of fucking metal. It's gone straight through my brand new 7-mile-old rear tyre. So I'm like, oh, with my old tyre, if there was a screw in it, you can get it plugged. If it's not in the side wall, but yeah, they're like, no, with these tyres you got, they're so good that you can't plug them, and it's a big chunk of metal. So you need to buy a new tyre. So within 4 days of putting my new shoes on my motorbike, it's cost me £500. Oh, fuck. I'm like, you fucking what? And because I MOT'd it with them, I did the test with them, the safety check. They're like, they picked me up on everything. Everything. Oh, your number plate's a little bit too small than regulation. I had a copper behind me yesterday, or I had a copper behind me a couple of days before. He never pulled me up, like, you know. So just like, oh, do you know what? Fuck off. So I put this other tyre on. That's 500 quid down. And then I took it to my mate who, like, sort of, he looks over. My horn doesn't work on the motorbike. The number plate was a little bit too small for regulation. And what else was it? Oh, your chain's a little bit loose. And all this, just like, do you know what? Get fucked. So I took it to me, mate. He's like, leave it with me. Give it a couple of hours and give me a ring. Phoned him up. He's like, there you go. Give me 30 quid. You got your MOT on your motorbike. I'm like, nice one, mate. Here's 40 quid. Happy days. So I'm completely road legal now. Not in the eyes of the law, but I've got an MOT certificate, which lets me ride my bike for the next year. It's all safe, you know. It's not anything. It's like you got to have a light that illuminates your number plate, my small number plate. But that's not there, so who cares? If anyone comes up behind me, it's going to illuminate by their fucking headlights anyway, isn't it? You know, it's just like fucking stupid things. I know these tests are to keep you legal on the road, but you know, fuck off, innit? But yeah, so I've had a right nightmare of a week. It's cost me a shit ton of money. It's wiped out my bank account, and I've had to lend like 300 quid off my brother just to get through the fucking rest of the month. So I've never been so skinned, but I've got some lovely shoes on my motorbike. Anyway, have I got anything else to say? Oh, I don't know. There's a few things, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you with that. And I love you all and see you later. Bye. Yo.
Thank you, Uncle Scumdeath. Yeah, that, he used to have a Ninja. No, he had a Gixxer. I don't know I think he got a little bit newer Gixxer. I think it was a little bit smaller. I don't know. But yeah, this guy's crazy, man. He runs, my volume down a little bit. There we go. He runs, motorcycles, I think year round. I don't think he has a car. I think his motorcycle is how he gets around town. Yeah. He lives in Plymouth. He is I want to visit that city so badly. By the way, just a little FYI, I am going to the UK next June. I've already talked with, my buddy Hayoka in the Brickcord. He's going to tell me some places. I'm going to see Elbow live at the Arboretum. That's going to be so much fun. He bought the tickets for me, and I'm like, I got to figure out how to go see this. So I talked to my wife. We're putting packages together right now. So I'll be there about a week. So if there's anyone out there who's in the UK and wants to meet up, I'll get with the Brickcord guys, and I'm sure we'll meet at a pub somewhere and drink a few pints, and I'm sure my wife will have to drive me home. I'll have a rental car, so should be good. So I don't know, Jimmy. I don't know if I can make it to Germany, man. That's Europe, is definitely smaller driving wise compared to the United States, but I just don't know. I'll have enough time. I was there about 15 years ago in the London area and south, like Brighton. Like we went to Stonehenge, a lot of those areas. Bath. Wow, what a beautiful city. We spent a whole week, and we every day we went. We took the tube into the city for 3 days. If you guys can ever make a trip to the UK, it is well worth it. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So I just want to throw that out there that I will be out in the UK my birthday week, actually. So I won't tell you how that will be, but yeah, that's coming up. Anything else, gentlemen? I guess the soundboard's working, so I guess we'll plan on using that in the future shows. Well, hey, I wanted to thank everyone who stopped out tonight to join in the conversation with us. You guys and gals are awesome. I appreciate the feedback in the chat. Hopefully, we addressed any questions or comments you had in the chat. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit the like button down below. If you enjoyed the show, subscribe to my channel. And if you want to know when our next show will go live, hit the notifications icon too, because everything will post to my Todd the Gator YouTube channel, just like the name underneath my face right here. That's how it is in the YouTube channel. Of course, you guys are here. Anyway, if you just want to hang out, talk with us from the show, join our Discord. That is discord.gg/Guardian Downcast. If you want to know anything about our show, where to contact us, I'll be adding RNG Gator and Kingsley's socials into the website here very soon. It's guardiandowncast.com. So in the meantime, though, RNG, how can people find you out there, sir?
In the Discords, on Twitter, X, and pretty much the best way to find me. I'm pretty much a mod in every Discord that probably has something to do with Destiny right now, so there's no problem. Just tag, you'll find me.
Yeah. Kingsley?
Yeah, and you'll find me as Kingsley Mac everywhere. In game, I'm just Kingsley right now, and don't do as much on X these days, although I am going to revamp it because I do need to edit things a little bit since not doing the other podcast anymore. But right. Who knows? I may get into it again. But definitely in the Discords, find me as Kingsley Mac, all the Discords.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for watching. And later, Guardian.
Bye.
Bye.
Get toddled.
So are we doing official outros or just this week? Or
no, I'll do a little bit of stuff in that. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us tonight. Really do appreciate you guys.
Yeah, it's always